I'm Charles Frazier. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Ask Charles. We had two questions this week. Before I get started, just like we did last time, disclaimer time. One of our questions comes out of New York City. I'm an attorney here in the state of Tennessee and therefore can only give you advice regarding legal matters here in the state of Tennessee. If you want to have your questions asked about what goes on in the state of New York, you have to go get with a New York attorney. As a matter of fact, anything provided here is just for informational purposes only. You need to speak with an attorney about your specific fact situation in order to get any actionable legal advice. So with that disclaimer being put forward, we will begin. Our first question is, does your firm help with living wills? If so, what are the steps to get started and what information should I gather before our meeting? Let's explain a little bit about what a living will is first. A living will is what you need to give doctors instructions on how you want to be treated in the event that you find yourself in a life-threatening situation where you can no longer communicate with your doctor. And what it is a set of instructions. It says, if I find myself in a permanently unconscious state, in a state where I can't take care of myself and dress myself, feed myself, go to the bathroom, eat on my own, those kinds of things. It says, hey, I do or do not want to have resuscitation. Don't restart my heart if it stops. Don't put me on a feeding tube. Don't put me on a breathing tube. Those are instructions provided by a living will. With those particular sets of instructions, you really don't need a whole lot before you come to my office, except that you understand exactly how you want to be treated in the event that you find yourself in one of those situations. Basically, what you want to avoid, and the reason that you need a living will in the first place, is if you're separated from your spouse and you don't have a living will in place, and the person that you that would otherwise take care of you by law is estranged from you, guess who gets to take care of you if you don't put any instructions in place? Yep, your estranged spouse or relative. So the living wills give you a control. They're revocable at any time. So if situations change in your life, as happens with all of us, situations always change, then you can control exactly what's going to happen in that situation. So before you come to my office, just kind of understand how you want to be treated. And we do handle those. And with that, I think we can move to the next question. And this was the question out of New York. It says, hello, Charles. My sister Pat has passed. Mom has custody of the nephew. Do I have to petition the court in the event that mom precedes me, or should I file for joint custody? So what you're asking me, again, is a New York question. And what you're asking me is, hey, what happens if mom passes away with custody of my nephew? Who's the next in line? Well, I presume that mom got custody because your sister left instructions that your mom should be the person that or nominated your mom as the person that's going to take care of your nephew. Well, as you've already seen, nominations help so that if your mother has a will, she can nominate you as the second person that's going to take care of your nephew. If the nephew's father is still involved, however, of course, he has parental rights. So that's another question all within and of itself. But if you want to take care of that situation so that you don't have to worry about having to go into court and possibly getting into some sort of a battle with other persons who might have standing to care for your nephew, it would be great if your mom would just prepare a will that nominates you or any others of her family that she wishes to take care of your nephew. So those are our two questions this week on this episode of Ask Charles. Just like every other week, we're going to put this video out, and at the end of the video, you guys are all welcome to put in a question that you have for me. What we do here at our office is we take care of tax law issues before the Internal Revenue Service or here in the state of Tennessee. We handle business law issues, and we do some estate planning and probate administration. So if you've got a question, ask Charles.